loud enough. Hey everybody, this is John and Jenny Show. We're back. Just the two of us. It's Friday. I've got my drink. I'm your host, John Corey. With me is Jenny Moon.
Hello.
We decided to do this just the two of us today, and we're going to do something fun. We're going to talk about something interesting, at least. We're talking about sex with robots today, because what else would you talk about, right?
Right, sex with robots.
Sex with robots.
Know about on Friday afternoon.
I need to give a backdrop to this, like why we're talking about this in the first place.
Yes,
Not because John's into, not because John's researching a new project, new purchase.
Does your wife know about this, John?
I don't think she does. I don't remember.
She doesn't know we're doing a show on sex with robots?
I don't know if I actually told her now. I don't remember.
Okay. All right.
So the point was, I'm interested in underpopulation. I'm pretty much an optimist. I'm a pessimist by nature, by personality, and an optimist through intellect, shall we say, through like reading shit. I think the world is going to good places, but sometimes I think, oh, maybe something is going to go wrong, and one of those things that could go wrong is underpopulation. People are scared that the world is going to get too crowded and there's going to be too many people. We're all going to fucking die. But my fear right now is the opposite. We're going to go from like 9 billion people and then just down, down, down. Everybody's going to stop having kids, and next thing you know, the world is cut in half. The number of people in the world is cut in half, and that's going to be a problem actually, because.
Well, wait. Why do you even think that that's going to happen? I don't understand. What? It's going to be cut.
Okay, we want to stick with sex with robots, but we'll go into this real quick. Where the fear is. I'm sorry. Fear comes from the idea that anyway, scientists are predicting that the number of people is going to kind of top out at 9 billion. So right now we're at 7 billion. Okay. People think it's going to top out at 9 billion because what tends to happen, is as soon as women in the world get literate, they start to read, they get educated, go to school, they stop having this astronomical number of kids. There's some parts of the world where women are still having 5, 6, 7 kids, and of course that was normal for a long, long time, and that's why we saw so much growth. But you see in the Western world that stopped, and in Eastern countries now, in China, well, obviously not in China, but India and stuff like that, that they see that happening, that's going to stop. Women they're going to get educated, and they're going to stop having so many kids.
And that's going to cut the population in half, and then
well,
there's.
Look, listen. If every couple in the world has one kid, I think I thought of this somewhere. Every couple in the world has one kid. In 25 years, about 25 years, the population will be cut in half.
Okay, interesting. So
do you know what I mean?
All right, so John.
Like,
okay.
I'm holding my end over here, Jenny. I got 3 kids. How many kids do you have?
I need to have one at least. So.
See what I mean? But it's becoming
another show.
The whole point is it's becoming more common for people to say, I don't really want kids, and to concentrate still maybe pair up or whatever, but to have less kids.
And so now we're back to sex with robots. So
finally.
And
so I like I told you, I read Digg, digg.com, and there was an article about people thinking that the marriage rate has dropped, and they think porn might be part of the problem, that people are watching porn, and the guys, and statistically, let's say 5% of all guys who were at the border to get married, or girls, they just decide, whatever, and they don't get married because they've got a partner, they've got porn.
Satisfies them.
Exactly. I mean, right? And so sex with robots, if you think about it, there is this sort of trajectory where this could kind of like hit a place where all of a sudden a number of people, and not maybe a huge number, but maybe like 10% of guys or women or whatever, all of a sudden just shack up with robots. And right now it's so hard to imagine.
It's like three-dimensional porn, basically. Oh my God. Okay.
Well, it's not just porn, because I did, and that's what I just told you, is I saw the movie Her, H-E-R, from Spike Jonze, who's fucking... This is just brilliant, this movie. This is the same guy who made Jackass, made this movie. It's just such a beautiful movie, and I was not in the mood for the show because it was so...
Jacqueline, I always mispronounce his name.
Jacqueline? Joaquin,
yes, thank you. Phoenix is in this, right?
Yeah, he's in it. He's the main guy, and he falls in love with not a robot, but a piece of software.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I've like called my bank. Like, this was also like a moment where I was like, holy shit! I called my bank like years ago, Bank of America, and they had this automated kind of teller. You know, you usually start with like, if you would like English, press 1. You know what I mean? It's like that's the first version. Now the next version is like, what would you like to do? And they talk to you like a person. I was like, listening to this, like, I'm in on hold, but I'm just amazed at how
Real.
how real the person sounds, how well they interpret my responses, and how intelligently they go from one choice to another. I was just like, holy crap! And that's what Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with in
But this obviously is an advanced
her
7.10.0 version where she can actually have a conversation with him,
yeah.
right?
And this is happening in the future. This whole movie takes place in the future. But I mean, as you see now, everything starts somewhere, you know. And you want to show this clip? Do you want to show this clip of these robots?
Yeah.
Because of course we're talking not only in terms of, I mean, there's two sides. There's obviously sexual, but also emotional, right? I can get my rocks off on this robot, but I can also maybe have just a back and forth that's enough to kind of like let me dump my day on somebody and then feel like I was emotionally validated on some level. And so roll the clip. This is the sexual part of it because they look creepily, is that a word? Creepily real. Everybody, Jenny's a robot. Nobody knows this.
Yeah, I am a feminist.
They think about the prospect of having a relationship with a robot.
No,
You
never.
have to go back. You have to go back.
I will only marry a human woman, you know.
Can you imagine a relationship without kitchen fights?
Jenny, you gotta go back.
Oh, without no one talking
Yeah,
back to you.
when they show like the real Japanese one.
Yeah, but there's never.
Would you go for a robot? Yeah, definitely. Future, if it was allowed.
Wow, I had no idea.
Missed it.
While most of us feel that the possibility of having an affair with a robot is something in the very distant future,
There. That's the
it's
one.
already reality. I'm Ganesh Chekan reporting from Washington for
Thank you.
Lifeline. With the surge of interest in robots, lawyers are starting to look into legal implications of the possibility that these sex robots can break up marriages. Psychologists, in the meantime, warn robots could transform human notions of love and sexuality forever. And we're going to ask...
All right. So there you go.
No, we didn't see it, did we? All right.
You wanted the picture of what? The little... You
The
wanted...
Japanese one.
Oh, I see. There was a special one.
No, that's okay. There she was.
Okay.
Anyway, just pretend. So imagine you combine this Japanese.
Fascinated with everyone. John wanted to see the very special Asian one that.
I already have an Asian robot right here.
Yeah, me. Right? Not okay.
Right.
This is okay. So John, this is interesting. And there was an article that came out too, right? You read this article from where was it?
Newsweek, talking about it.
Okay, and what did it say in Newsweek?
I don't remember. No, I remember this just that, you know, they were going into it just like we're going into it and saying this is a thing now, and obviously
part of the future, right?
Part of the future. People started, I guess, with these inflatable dolls, and that was always like a joke, and then now they have like real models, and they cost like a lot of money too. And then this guy responded at the bottom in these Facebook comments. He says, because somebody was like joking, like, yeah, nobody's gonna admit to it or whatever. I can totally imagine that, of course, too. And I think that may be the only hope for humanity is that people are kind of socially shunned into not doing this. But he was saying, oh, I have a, he drives with it, he sleeps with it, he has it, pictures of his doll, and his doll costs like $5,000. And I was just thinking where this all could go.
Okay, so what is your take on this as a man, right? Because I have very strong opinions about this, personally.
Well, it's not about my opinion. It's just about where it's going to go. It's going to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, of course, I'll just sit here and say, of course I'm not going to have sex with a robot. But then you don't know what that interaction is going to be. I was like on the phone with the bank teller. You're just like, holy crap, you know? I mean, who knows how things are going to like turn out? And it looks like people want emotional, want this emotional relationship, and they don't want the hassle that comes with it, which is, you know, another person like
and that's
doing all these things.
I think that having sex with robots is, listen, if it's a one-off to get your little teeth, Fine. You want to see what it's like to have, like, sex with a robot to see if it's actually as pleasurable with a real person? Hell, go for it, right?
I mean, look, let's face it, women have vibrators now too, and how many women are just kind of thinking, screw it, I'm going to stay at home. You know what I mean?
Do you see any of the sex with robots men, blow up men? No. This is what fucking pisses me off. These are all robot women that are built to satisfy these awkwardly, socially inept men. And I think, I mean, personally, I'm really scared about this because what it does, it's a crutch. It's basically what porn does. It makes people actually not deal with their emotional, like, baggage. Like,
I agree completely. But I'm saying, I think I can also imagine, obviously thinking about this last 2 days, I can also totally imagine they're going to make models for women too, men, who will, because obviously women just want you to just sit there anyway and just listen to what they're saying, right?
Oh my God.
So they'll just sit there and just nod. Yeah. Jeez.
Okay, so here's a perspective from, like, an esoteric spiritual point of view.
Please.
And I know that this will be, like, a huge debate, right? Especially, is that, the argument is that these robots, do they have souls? Do they not have souls? Like, is there energy actually coming from them? This is, I mean, these are the questions to ask. Like, could we get into, it's like all sci-fi. Like, eventually, could robots function as almost like a real person?
Could they have rights?
I mean, who knows, right? But we're not even there. Like, that is so far from our reality.
And so I think it's pointless to even discuss it. But it was just a topic that kind of, it was pointless to discuss it. But a topic that just kind of, I see a shift, a potential shift coming in humanity, and that could play a role in there too. Because there was another big shift I realized, of course, that happened was, and this is like millions of years ago, is that, of course, we're a monogamous society. Like, the way you set up your whole, what I call this, of course, in the book I wrote, there's a sexual landscape, right? This is how you deal. Did you hear the book plug? Did you like that?
Yeah, I did. I plugged it a little bit more, though.
What's that?
I plugged it a little bit more. I said, everyone go out and buy it.
Everyone go out and buy it. It's coming out soon. We're all done. And so, like, you have what they call, like, what I'm calling a sexual landscape. This is like the way your stuff is all set up, and that determines how you behave. That all our behavior stems from these drives we have, and that's kind of our sexual landscape determines how that all plays out. And now,
what are you saying? I'm confused. Speak English.
Paleontologists will say that we split from monkeys 7 million years ago, right? Yeah. Gorilla, we split from our ape ancestors 7 million years ago, humans.
Yeah.
And back then, it was a much more polygamous society. So, like gorillas are right now. Gorillas have, like, one big male, right? And then there's a couple of other males, and they don't get any action. They get no women because the big male dominates all the women, and the other ones don't.
Are you saying that's what we're going towards again?
No, I'm saying that's where we split from. I'm just giving an example of that was a major shift for us as humans to go into monogamous monogamous groups. All of a sudden, one boy for every girl, right? Because it didn't used to be that way. Can you imagine? And that's how it is now in Saudi Arabia, and places like Saudi Arabia, that they do have polygamy, where there's one dude who's got, like, a couple of chicks, and that means there's a couple of dudes who don't have any chicks.
Okay.
And this is why these people are, it doesn't help them to be, they're very violent because of this. Everybody's like, I got all this pent-up rage. And so I'm just imagining another shift taking place when computers and all these things sort of take the place of real-life partners. And it's not going to be a 100% deal. I'm saying it's going to be percentage-wise. It could, like, go down 10%, 5%, I don't know what, but it's going to have a possible impact on the world's population.
So I agree that in our evolution, right, and again, anything that you see in science fiction will someday come into this reality. It just will. I just believe that with every part of my being. So, yeah, is there, like, going to be where you are having sex with aliens, you're partners with different aliens, you are non-gender specific? I mean, that's our, like, you are also maybe in a polyamorous relationship, you may be in a relationship with robots. Yes, I think it's the whole gamut is going to happen, right?
You are bringing up very good points, but I'm going to deny basically all of them.
Go for it. Hit
because, number one, we will never see aliens. That is too far. That is too far in the future.
Okay, whatever. All right.
Number two. What was your second point about polyamorous relationships? We have this now that people kind of just like go freely and stuff like that. But I think from what I've seen about research is those people are not really doing well. That they don't, it's kind of fringe stuff. It's maybe a very small percentage of people. I'm talking like a tenth of a percent of whatever.
I know a lot of people in open relationships that are.
Yeah, but you're in New York City, and I'm gonna interview them and grill them. I can't imagine they're doing well. I knew a dude also here. In Holland, of all places, where you would expect people to be liberal in terms of love, but it doesn't work out. There's too much jealousy gets in there. It's not natural, and that's what I'm trying to say. Is we have a nature.
That's a whole other topic. Basically, like, our evolution?
No, it's not a whole other topic.
You think our evolution is just getting even more monogamous? I don't think so. Our evolution.
No, it's not getting even more monogamous. I'm saying it is monogamous, and that's it.
It is mainly monogamous with, at least in America, and people having lots of affairs. Right.
Right, but that's how it's always been. I'm saying we have a human nature, and we're not going to divert from that anymore. Is that a word? Diverge from that. That's what we are. And so I'm saying sex with robots plays into that. We all want sex. We all want a serious partner. And sex with robots could take the place of a real person to satisfy those two natural needs.
It could, with certain people that have a really hard time socially,
Yep.
right? Like, look at the type. Like, if you could, pick out that type of person, I guarantee you, it's going to be predominantly men. It's going to be predominantly white men. It's going to be predominantly men who are socially awkward, who do not have good, personal skills, like.
But here's the thing.
That's a profile.
Yes. So I'm going to agree, but like I said, I think there's two sides to this, two attraction factors for sex with a robot. And we're saying sex with a robot. I'm saying also relationships with robots.
Yeah, that's my issue. I don't have issues with you having sex with a robot every now and then with your kink, but the thing I have an issue with is you being in a relationship with a robot.
Yeah, and obviously I think, though, that correct me if I'm wrong, you think that that's shitty because robots are really stupid right now, but I'm saying it's possible that in 100 years' time, which is just right around the corner, but so much is going to happen in 100 years, that it's possible that the emotional response you'll get from a frickin' piece of software is going to be mind-blowingly complex and good enough for you to feel okay and to not want to put on your makeup and go out. Do you know what I mean? I'm saying it's possible. Saying, of course, right now it's not like that, but I mean,
I know it's not.
Really, you got to watch this movie, by the way, Jenny. And I think the movie's kind of like a stretch in some places because the whole point. And I'm not going to hopefully ruin it for you. At some point,
don't ruin it for our audiences.
Should I not ruin it? Should I just leave it?
No, don't give away like some of the most important pieces. But
no, I'm going to leave it then.
So, but the main movie. I mean, the main thing. It sounds like I'm hearing you say with the movie Her was that you could not believe how lifelike she was. I mean, come on, she's Scarlett fucking Johansson. Yeah, I want to be in a relationship with her as a robot.
There you go. Imagine, and this is like the whole idea, and this really, I want you to consider the idea for women that there's guys are. Let's say, how many times do women say guys are fucking idiots, right? They don't listen, they don't do whatever. So imagine that there's this piece of software that's totally personalized to you, and it can totally validate all the things you want to talk about and everything like that, and it does it much better than 9 out of 10 men could possibly do. And that 10th man you're not getting anyway because
then it's
you know what I mean?
No. Okay. Also, too, like, I believe in karma. I believe that we are meant to come together, through law of attraction, to be with certain people, to work out past karma, and to also learn from each other. How are you going to learn from a robot that is already programmed to do everything you want it to do? I mean, it's so like so messed up to me because it's so not real.
It's totally agree.
Fantasy land of I totally agree, and I want one.
No, I don't say I want one.
I mean, come
I say
on.
totally agree. I don't say I want one, Jenny. I'm saying I agree with you totally. I'm just saying this is where it's going. I'm not trying to say we should this or we should that. I'm saying it's going to happen, and here's why.
Yeah, and do you want your 3 sons to grow up and
Of course not. That's my point. I want them to have like...
Dad, here's my robot girlfriend, you know.
I just upgraded her.
It's totally like Stepford Wives. Did you ever see that movie with Nicole Kidman years ago, Stepford Wives? And they're like, they turn the wives into like perfect robots. Like, we do everything for you. We cook and clean. We please you. I mean, give me a break. Like, seriously, yet again, it's men trying.
This is not going to help you right now. See, you want a relationship, but you're hating on men. And that's not going to help either. The only option right now for you, I know an option.
I don't love men.
I know this great guy. He's an operating system. I think you two should meet.
I do not want. What I get upset about is these men that want to turn all of us women into Barbie dolls. To look at their way, act a certain way.
No. I think if you're gonna diss on men, it's the same for women. The point is, and you're right about men, but you're closing your eyes to women. Women want the same thing. Women want men to be what they want them to be. Men want women to be.
We're not creating robot dolls of men.
No.
You are the ones.
Not yet.
You are the ones creating them. The men.
Yes.
The men are.
Now,
Why?
but later it will be women.
Because they have to stick their you-know-what into something.
Yes.
And they don't even care if it's a living, breathing being.
It's a robot. I was thinking I was going to ask you this question. I was going to say, imagine, just like close your eyes right now, and imagine a relationship with somebody who satisfies you completely on an emotional level and on a sexual level, and if there's enough battery left after he totally pleasures you, that he'll even cuddle with you, if there's enough battery left. Maybe it's the adapter and it can plug it in and the battery never dies.
Totally part of one of the programs, right? I could program my man robot to cuddle me, compliment me, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Wow, Janny, you look great today.
Okay, hold on.
Did you do something with your hair? I could program these things right now. Did you do something with your hair? You look great.
Okay, but how about
those earrings? Are those earrings new?
Can I blow your mind for 1 second? We don't need robots because you and I, all of us, are like computers because we too have programs, right? We have programs. We have programs programmed into us to, act a certain way and do things that we got from our parents, from our ancestors, from trauma. How about instead of having sex with robots, actually working?
Have sex with ourselves. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Janny Moon, ladies and gentlemen, advocating self-love.
All right, lesson is have sex with robots for me. If you want, because it's your weird kink, don't get in a relationship with them. Please, be in a relationship with yourself and a real human being that you can work out your karma with and learn from. Seriously, it's the easy way out. Easy way out.
Yeah. Take the hard road. It's going to feel better in the long run.
Okay, that totally had double meanings to that.
Take the hard road. Hold on
1 second. I gave my opinion on sex with robots. What's yours? You can't end without your to the group.
I did this whole show out of fear. I'm afraid that things could go wrong for humanity. So of course I don't prescribe sex with robots. I think it's a bad thing. I think it'll be a bad thing. But I think what I said in the beginning is I think what's going to happen. I say it's a bad thing, but of course every technology is always giving us what we want. But what could happen, at least it's going to give us what we want in the short term, and that could have bad side effects in the long term. I think what may happen is that people will be socially ostracized who have robots, which would be a good thing because we need to keep the population going.
Is your opinion don't have sex with robots unless you want to be ostracized? I mean,
yeah. That's my opinion. Don't have sex. Don't have sex with robots, kids.
Okay, so obviously, yeah. Wonderful topic, you guys. Don't.
So how was this? We didn't have a guest. Was this any fun?
Yeah, this was way fun. This was way more fun in my opinion.
Next, so what I wanted to do was to have like the dude on there who has the sex with the robot. Maybe we should do that in another show. I don't know.
We might.
But that would just be creepy. I mean, that would be weird, I guess, maybe.
I don't know. I feel bad. If we actually have him on the show, I think that I might be, like, I'm scared.
You might be a little bit
I might be a little, like I might tear into him a little bit. And, I try to be nice.
You try to be nice. Look, and what you said is correct. It's like these fringe people. And I saw, like, this guy, and I was just like, geez, there's something.
I mean, come on.
I'm not quite right about him.
Like, if you look at the people who are building the sex with robots, they look a little off.
They look a little off.
They're really lovely, wonderful human beings that need some healing and love with a real person, right? Yeah. A real person. But anyway, sex with robots.
Jenny, check out the movie Her. It's great. I'm gonna watch it again with Renee when maybe this weekend. Fantastic movie. What's that?
In homework, John, and everyone should know, I'm very curious. Ask your wife what she thinks about you having sex with her.
I was considering that too. Like, imagine that I just said she's like not in the mood, and I said, "Can I just go? I'm just gonna go upstairs and do it with Linda now." Whatever. She'd be like, "Oh, that's fine." She wouldn't be.
I mean, seriously.
That's the weird part. It's like we are stupid robots, and that at some point she would get jealous of a robot. I would too if she was banging this robot Ricardo or something like that. I'd be like, what? I can do whatever he does.
All right.
That's human nature.
Time to go.
Okay, I'm going to put the music back on. Here we go.
We love you guys. Thank you for watching us and supporting us.
And we'll see you next time, maybe with a guest, maybe not. We'll see. This is John and Janny Show. This is John Corey and Janny Moon signing out. Oh, this is
Friday.
This is Tame Impala. They're so much fun. Okay, talk to you next time. Bye.
Mwah.